Our jumpers are effectively flying their parachutes. These type of chutes have an incredible amount of control. It's not like the old days where the big white chute went where the wind went. The men and women in our armed forces today, with this kind of training and this type of equipment, can effectively fly wherever they want to go within reasonable constraints. As I said before, this is a high altitude, low opening type chute, similar to what we would use if we were putting in clandestine jumpers, special operations. Looks like the jumpers are one on top of one another right now. As you can see, they're flying into the wind, which we may not have thought was possible. But with this technology, it is. Typically, the jumpers might fall several thousand feet before opening the chute. Hence the high altitude, low opening nomenclature, or HALO. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
What's so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we marched, so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red light, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say
You see my head in the stand.
Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, big hand for Sergeant First Staff Jeff Schaefer, Staff Sergeant James Hackett, and welcome again to the 2010 Rotorfest here at Brandywine Airport. We'll have another show at 1:30, another at 1500 or 3 o'clock. We hope you'll stay for all of them. We greatly appreciate the incredible weather we're having today. At a later iteration, you'll be able to see our 82nd Airborne team do a full exercise for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that at 1 o'clock we'll be replaying the DVD Helicopters, A Day in the Life. This is a 15-minute DVD about helicopters in our everyday life. That'll be in the museum. release acceleration to the ground and land safely. Terry just demonstrated that for us. Terry is, by the way, of all things, a retired Scotland Yard Chief of Detectives. Yes, that is that Scotland Yard in the British Isles. He also happens to be the Chief of Police in York.
What's he doing here?
I guess in his free time, we can't be much sure he operates Dutch country helicopters at the Lancaster Airport. Oh, big thanks for Terry. Taking off there is the flight care helicopter. This aircraft is a no-tar or no-tail rotor design. The reason we have that tail rotor, as I mentioned, is that we need something to counteract the torque or the twisting applied to the airframe by the engine or engines. As the engines are trying to turn that rotor system, twisting, grunting, straining as hard as they might, they're also inadvertently trying to turn the fuselage in the opposite direction per Newton's laws of motion, which demand that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Obviously, we don't want the fuselage to turn most of the time, so we stick that tail rotor out there to counteract that torque. This aircraft is powered by 2 gas turbine engines, that is to say a jet engine, or engines. They use about 70% of the power they create just to run themselves and to recompress more air to keep combining with fuel in a diesel engine-like effect, wherein the thing doesn't use a spark plug. It just keeps compressing air and compressing it, compressing it, until it's many, many times and much hotter than the air that came in. When fuels combine with that, it ignites expanding gases, we harness that energy, and we get the horsepower we need. Now, taking off in front of you is a retreat. This is an auto gyro. This auto gyro is called a Snowbird Adventure. It's piloted by Chris Burgess. He's out of Frederick, Maryland. Chris is a long ago combat Huey UH-1 Vietnam veteran. He flew the Hueys and also the AH-1 Cobra. Chris could put 2 people in that aircraft. It's a tandem aircraft. What I'd like you to look at in this aircraft is that it is an auto gyro. That main rotor system is not powered. I repeat, it is not powered. The only thing that keeps that turning is the upflow of air through that system, just like the maple leaf pods that we talked about. The engine is not powering the rotor system. This is what differentiates it from a helicopter. This is an auto gyro. It's a rotorcraft. It's in the same class, but it is not a helicopter. The inertial energy in that rotor system is going to keep that turning in. Now, as Chris starts doing that rotor, he's got air going up through the rotor system again, and it's going to keep that rotor system turning. In effect, he's using the main rotor system to keep himself up in the air through resistance, through the air rushing through the system, and providing resistance against the blades. What's causing him to move forward is the engine, and I think he's got a pusher prop on that thing. It's a little reciprocating engine. Some of the smaller auto gyros actually utilize snowmobile engines. This is a real treat to see an auto gyro. I spoke of an auto rotation, which is what a helicopter does when it doesn't have power to the rotor system. An auto gyro is in a perpetual state of auto rotation. He can literally land on a dime. He can land in his backyard with this thing, and I'm sure he's capable of doing it and does it.
Oh, that's a real nice backyard.
This aircraft would fly normally about 70 knots or nautical miles an hour.
That's really cool.
Chris has been flying this thing for about 23 years. He's also a flight instructor. If you wanted to know how to fly this thing, Chris could teach you. This is probably the cheapest practical rotorcraft one can own, but again, it's very safe because, in my opinion, being in a perpetual state of auto rotation, the pilot's ready to land just about anywhere. It's not that fast.
Look at him turn.
And the pilot is always going to be very adept at landing auto rotationally, which is the only way this thing can land. The rotor's fiberglass with an aluminum spar. The engine in this thing is actually from a Honda Civic. Honda Civic car. Notice the forward power source. It's a pusher prop pushing the thing forward. The rotor system is only keeping it up in the air, and it is not powered by the rotor system, believe it or not. Thank you to Chris.
I'll clap. Ooh,
You
hammerhead.
can see how tight he can turn that aircraft. It's a very maneuverable aircraft. Very safe. A wheeled aircraft, for something that small. This aircraft doesn't have a tail rotor because, as we said, the reason for a tail rotor is to counteract torque on the fuselage. Since the main rotor system is not driven, there really is no torque on that fuselage, hence Chris does not need a tail rotor on an autogyro. This was initially thought to be the future of rotorcraft. If you
there you go.
have examined the museum, you've seen the early larger autogyros. This is what we thought the future would hold until we went to actual powered helicopter flight. You may be able to hear now our Robinson R22 cranking up. We're going to transition from an autogyro, unpowered rotorcraft flight, to a powered rotor system helicopter flight.
Yes, let's
And
do
folks,
that.
don't go away because we got the granddaddy here. We're going to watch the C-53 fly at the end of this, which is a real thing.
That thing.
The largest helicopter in the Western world.
That thing?
Oh, wait, no. Not that thing. No, wait, that thing. I think that thing. We'll find out.